we are a grandmaster, it's only up from here. Bigger quests with bigger rewards and bigger threats to clear. 24 full years of questing to make our deaths, we're doing fine. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2009. Welcome back to April 1st, 2009. We're no fool. We've got all these charms we need to use. But first, very important updates. On April 2nd, 2009, Postbag from the Hedge, number 39. Get the top 10 most powerful creatures in the game list. And letters and info from the Lumber's Guide and the Chaos Elemental. With the lack of any behind the scenes anymore, the Chaos Elemental hints are definitely going to be more of a source of intrigue these days. And the top 10 most powerful creatures list is useful for the new RuneScape duel cards. You can print out 10 cards for a card game. Each card has attack, range, magic, agility, and power stats. Get to the top card of your deck, choose which stat, and then if you have a higher stat than the opponent's of that stat, you get both cards. So it's like War with extra stats and things. There's only 10 cards, so there's obvious ones that are just the best at certain things. It's a system. It's a card game. It's something. Also, you get a development diary, which is still just more of a blog than anything. This one is about dungeon maps, and written by Mod Ash. Very fun. Talking about the whole RuneScript coding language and how it's not actually Java and all the problems with the game engine, having to get updates to be able to do things. How some dungeons have parts that are technically in different places, trying to keep the dungeons together and show multiple floors and have it work on the actual world map, and have the icons on the world map be able to connect two dungeons. All sorts of new features working on it. Upgrading 30 dungeons of varying sizes and importance. And there's also going to be a related graphical update along with the more content side of the dungeon update. So that's something that's being worked on. These whole development diary blogs also kind of work as something of a behind the scenes for certain things, of course. On April 6th, 2009, new version of the Windows downloadable client is available. It's more lightweight than the browser version, so it's better for low-end machines. Also now comes with language choice based on your computer settings. Want to go into the different language worlds. So that's something. On April 8th, 2009, got some patch notes. Some floating bricks in Yanil are now on the ground again. The recipe for disaster lamp won't get dropped on the floor if you have a full inventory at the end of the quest. It would be devastating to lose 20,000 XP. Air guitar emote now works for the circus. Air guitar in here. Got a couple in here. We could do the whole filtering emotes or something. Air guitar. There it is. If we ever wanted to do some emotes at the circus, try to get more points to get the last outfits. Currently more interested in the experience, but that's fine. Empty buckets are now in farming shops. Potentially didn't have empty buckets before. We do have buckets of compost though, so you can just empty those anyways, so that's fine. Quick options for using the balloon teleport network, which is nice if you're going to be using that a whole bunch. Does have some benefits. And the update we've all been waiting for. Dragon High robes and the elite black armor sets are now storable in the costume room. We've been holding on to these since Walgothic sleeps because they are like a 1 in 1,500 drop. I didn't want to do that. I like to keep things. Magic wardrobe, store the Dagenhai. We got that and Ghostly in here. Not a huge amount of things we'd really want to even put in the magic wardrobe. Skeletal? Don't have that. I thought we've had skeletal. Guess I didn't ever get skeletal. Guess I never really used magic too much. That's something we could get at some point. Yeah, we got the spined and the rock shell over in this cabinet. Also have the lumberjack set, the rupia set, elite black set. That's it. That. Now the question is, do we have space to put 5 things in this armor case? Is that accurate? We can always get rid of the Larupia if we need to. What level of armor case is this? Mahogany? That seems fine. Also could have changed how much gets stored in it. Armor case space. Mahogany is the top tier here. It's at 82 construction. Could boost for that. Probably did. So we can store all the sets. That's pretty good. There are certain other pieces of furniture here we don't have full storage. That's at least something. So just immediately that is 6 more inventory spaces. Oh, that's lovely. But we can still get more inventory spaces. And also get a few more nature runes and stuff. Really get the summoning going here. That's what the plan was. And now we're there. The first pouch we're going to be making here is going to be Mithril Minotaurs. We got Mithril bars here from superheating Mithril and coal over in Jatizo. Gonna be coming back here for smithing, probably. And then we're just going to teleport to the house in Taverley and run over to the obelisk here. Already went and grabbed the pouches and some spirit shards to start. We're gonna use up a lot of spirit shards. But then we're gonna get most of the money back from alching the pouches anyways, so it should all work out. This is only for the blue charms. We don't have a huge number of them. Also, this is still down in the basement, so that's also something. Minotaur pouches, 8,000 XP. And then we just alch some pouches while we run back to Jatizo. A bit of a run. Something we're going to think about when we get to the Crimsons here. Already getting the first level on the second trip here of the Mithril Minotaurs. And there is level 69 summoning. Well, that is a fruit bat. Green charm and a banana. It's a bat. And the scroll is fruit fall, which makes a whole bunch of fruit fall, including papayas, which is interesting for payas and stuff, but also later, Nebby Skinweavers. Neat. Oh, there's the last of the blue charms. Minotaurs made. I'll the rest of these, and also the pickaxe. Possibly going to be coming back later, but we'll worry about that later. And that is an extra inventory space. Also going to go get 2 more inventory spaces here, too. Get rid of the hatchet and the staff. 1 more week of penguins, and also 1 more kill the jade vine for that, though. So, get that done first here. And then we need to figure out what we're doing for the crimson charms. We're going to be making bagged plants. Getting the bagged plants from Falador. But we have 2 options we want to try out for actually route here. The simple route, just go in between Falador and House and Taverley, starts here. I'm going to time everything. Doing 18 at a time. Buy bag plant 1s, teleport to House. That brings us to Taverley. Let me exit the portal, run on over. also went and got water runes, so we can just teleport straight back to Falador. Whether or not that's super necessary is a different question, but it should work. Also got a nice pile of spirit shards. Got the staff ready. Infused pouches down here. Create stranger plants. Teleport to Falador. Get some XP for that. For the summoning portion. Then start running back over to the store while alching the stranger plants here. Unfortunately, we only get to do like one. There's technically 2 alks before we stop running towards the place we've clicked on. We only need to get over to here in 18 alks anyways, so we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, we can't purchase more until we've alked the previous stack here. And we do lose money on each of these. It's just a lot faster and more. This is definitely the best option for getting rid of the pouches too. And as a plus side, we also get some coins for our efforts. That's also nice. Okay. Out the last one. And stop. So about 1:38 seconds to make 18 pouches. We can extrapolate that to pouches per hour and everything. But now we need to compare it to the much more complicated option. Never mind. We beansed it quite badly here. You know how we used all those blue charms making the Mythro Minotaurs? We needed the blue charms for making the Spirit Kyats for teleporting to close to an obelisk up in the Piscator's hunting area. But it also would have been a problem to make the Spirit Kyats, because they require Kyat fur. So we have to go hunt a Kyat every however long they last. And specifically good Kyat fur, not even the tatty one. So we have to consider if it's worth it to go make one Kyat, also taking up inventory space for all the things we need for hunting a Kyat. We need the lunar staff to get over towards the Kyat hunting area. We need an axe. We need a knife. We need to keep the blue charms on us. So that would greatly decrease the amount per inventory, which is fine. And then we'd have to do that every time the Kyat runs out. Or we can just do this for like 4 hours total. I mean, not this, technically. We're also going to see if other things become better in the future. But for now, we're getting like 660 charms made per hour here. Or pouches. Pouches are charms, so yeah. Just going to keep this going. Would have been interesting. Would have been a lot more work. So instead, just nice and simple. Falador, Taverley. Falador, Taverley. 70 summoning. We got it. That's quite a few things, actually. Interestingly enough. Like the Ravenous Locust, which is a locust. Crimson. Pot of flour. Technically an option, if we had somewhere that sold like 1,000 pots of flour, which we don't. And they've got a scroll that does something. Famine. Eats a piece of the opponent's food. Not so helpful. PvP stuff. More interestingly, we've got the God Bird pets. And to get a Ceradomin, Guthix, or Zamorak egg from the bird nests, then you can hatch it over here in the pet shop. Then you'll have a pet. So that's fun. Still waiting on when we get the ability to have pets for extended periods of time. It's coming, though. It's coming. Yeah, 70 summoning. Milestone. 71 summoning. Well, that is the Arctic Bear pouch. The highest level, gold charm familiar. Not really worth making, though, because it needs a polar kebbit fur for each one. That would take a long time. Gives a +7 hunter invisible boost. Counts as polar camo. And also, the scroll attack is a magic attack, so that's something. Could also go get the XX Parrot. That's amazing from Rockin' Out. Again, when we have a place we can store pets. And later, the Wise Blood Rager. We are also getting a good chunk of magic XP from alching all these pouches. So there is level 90 magic. Milestone. Achievement. And lots of cool stuff that doesn't exist. We get... Let's see if there's anything in here that does exist. Tele Other Camelot. Anacarl Teleport. Tele Group Ice Plateau. Yeah, that should be in... That should exist. Then we technically get the 50% critical strike damage, since that's the combat system. Later on, there's the Seismic Wand and Singularity, Earth Surge, Disruption Shield, Dominion Staff, Empowered Catalytic Staff in Daemonheim, Spirit Bloom Equipment in Daemonheim, Gravekeeper Staff and Wand in Daemonheim, Empowered Catalytic Wand in Daemonheim, Spirit Bloom Orb in Daemonheim, Empowered Catalytic Orb in Daemonheim. Lots of stuff in Daemonheim. It's like a whole new place, whole new game. Noxious Staff, Ascendry Bolt, Enchanting, Crystal Mask, the Calphite Rebounder, Sapphire Bruno Bolts E. So yeah, level 90. Very cool. 72 summoning. That is the Phoenix Familiar. Talked about that just recently in Pyre Need. Needs the Phoenix Quills that you get from doing the daily again over and over. Daily, weekly, whatever it is. Requires too many things, doesn't give XP we want. We could also do it for getting the Phoenix Eggling pets. Again, maybe when we have a place we can store the pets. Getting a lot of pets we could get here. That's another part of summoning. And later, the Wise Deathslinger in Daemonheim. Ranged. 73 summoning. Well, that is the Obsidian Golem. Combat, Mining Boost, Scroll for plus Strength. And later, Wise Stormbringer and Blood Reaver. 74 summoning. There you go. Well, that is a very important level. Quest requirement, and the Granite Lobster. Granite Lobster is Crimson Charm, Granite, only the 500 grams granite still, but we can break down the bigger granites. Also, some shards, of course. Next, Crimson Charm. Familiar, that's good to make. Also, gives a fishing bonus, invisible boost, forages for fish a little bit, and the scroll does a magic attack. Not really what you use. It's mostly for fishing and summoning training. But in order to do that, we need granite. So it's going to require a few more steps than just teleporting to Falador. Totally worth it, though. To the mines. Granite, sourced from the desert quarry here. Probably the only place we can get it from, technically. Mining takes roughly 3 swings. Also just dropping all the 500 gram versions so we can bring more per trip here. Get it. The space that we can work with filled of the 2 kilogram and 5 kilogram blocks. That's back to the house, back to Taverley. All works out. But now, the more involved part. Technically, we cannot use the larger pieces of granite for making the pouches, of course, here. So what we're going to do instead is drop a whole bunch of them and then use the ones that we can. We're going to do that by just dropping the larger chunks and all but 3 of these, and then crafting the granite into littler chunks. Forward into that, infuse the granite lobsters, Alk the granite lobsters. And then pick up more granite chunks. I'm going to do some kind of system here where we pick up the chunks and then make us then drop the chunks again or something. Because we don't want them to despawn on the ground, obviously. That would invalidate the whole getting the chunks over here idea. Hang on. Got all the shards we need and a little bit of extra money, so all the money we're gonna get is gonna come from the actual finishing this up portion. Alching all of the pouches here. Yeah. Let's do 4s so we can get up to this many. And then the larger chunks, I'm gonna break into 10s. So we have, what is this, 12, 13, 14, 16. We're gonna do 14 at a time. That'll speed things up slightly. Make sure nothing despawns. Yeah. We do a 5 and a 2. That'd be 14 out of the available 12, 13, 15 chunks. So, as a thought, let's even craft these well enough. Craft this. There's all these different options. Crafting the 5 kilograms into granite 2.5 kilograms times 2. That's not really a thing. It was originally 2 2s and then 2 500 grams. So, one way or another. All these different granite crafting options. But yeah, with this, we can get a whole bunch of granite here all at once. Another option would be having a familiar with inventory, beast of burden. But those can't really come down in here because this is still underground. Could probably technically go to Bogrogs over at Uglog. No, not even Uglog. Gutenoth. Or whatever. Well, that's a different spot. We would need to go make war tortoises or make even the other ones. At any rate, this is working well enough. Gonna be not as many trips since we can make so many easily per trip here. Make sure it doesn't despawn. Later on, there's also systems where you can trade the guys here, then buy stuff back. I don't think the shops quite work like that yet. So this is fine. We can definitely make quite a few pouches per trip, so that's nice. In terms of other things we went and got in order to actually do this, we of course have the rune pickaxe for the actual mining purposes, the chisel for chiseling the stone bits here, chiseling the granite down. And then we also have the camulet for getting back over to the desert there. It does come with charges though, so that's a slight problem. Two ways of getting more charges, seems like. We can either destroy the amulet and go pick up another one by running through the entire underground structure there, the entire temple. Or we can go get some camel dung. That's what the bucket's for. Camel dung. Should be good enough to just go and get that from the Alcarid camels, or we can get it from the hot sauce in Paladin of Nietzsche. It's also an option, technically. Then we get down to these ones. Yeah, not enough space for 2 of those at the same time. This is fine. But yeah, we're gonna go into Paladin of Nietzsche to recharge it when it runs out. Just go to the house, teleport to Alcarid of the Glory, take the carpet to Paladin of Nietzsche, get the red hot sauce. I'm just gonna try just talking to the camels too, because that's just already in Alcarid. Apparently might be slower for getting the dung though, so we got options. which is nice. And craft another one. There's a lot of stuff. It makes plenty of these. Oh yeah. Once we've made all of them we can, just go and get another load of granite. I think it should be pretty good here. So yeah, this is the idea. In terms of pouches per hour, it's a good question. There is the going and getting the amulet recharged. There's the mining the granite, which definitely takes longer than just walking up to the store in the Valdor Park. But then it's less running back and forth to the altar, since we're bringing the whole load with us, so. Whatever it is, this is what we're working with. We're just going to continue this. Mining granite does, in fact, give mining XP. Shocking, I know. So here is level 82 mining. Oh boy. That is painite rock double ore mining, when any of that exists. Mining and smithing rework, my goodness. It's also another great opportunity for our mining to get even further ahead of our smithing. Yeah. Gonna have to do some smithing here at some point. We're doing summoning right now. Focus. 75 summoning. Neat. As a quest requirement, the praying mantis, which is Crimson Charm, flowers, and shards. I'm not doing that instead of granite, that'd be worse. And it's a combat familiar. Scrolls another attack. And later, Wise Hornstalker, Hermit Crabs, and Gargoyles. 76 summoning. That is the Forge Regent, Green Charm, Ruby Harvest, Butterfly, and some shards. Counts as a tinderbox, gives additional fire-making XP, and has a special move scroll that makes your opponent unequip their weapon or shield if they're not wearing ice gloves because it's so hot. Also adamant minotaurs, blue charm and adamant bar. We don't have any more blue charms though. And here is 77 summoning. That's the goal. Also charms though, obviously. That is the Talon Beast. Crimson Charm, Talon Beast Charm, and shards. And later the Wise World Bearer. The Talon Beast is pretty wild. You need to get the Talon Beast charms from Nail Beasts in Temple Trekking. So not exactly something you can get a whole ton of, but really, really worth it if you do. Much like the Nail Beasts, the Talon Beast attacks 3 times every time, although it is a little bit slower total attacks, so it still attacks a lot. So instead of just 1 attack, it's 3. All 3 are strong hits. Slightly less accurate, slightly more time between sets of attacks, but still more attacks, which is great. Makes it a very solid combat familiar. And the special move scroll just makes the melee attacks that it always does magic instead, so not too big of a deal. In general, one of the better combat familiars, which would be useful in instances where we can actually use combat familiars. There's definitely one coming up. Definitely one coming up. But that's not for a little bit here still. We got one more thing we'd like to try to get together in the meantime here. But first, we do have a few extra Crimson Charms here, since we collected slightly more than we needed. That's fine. So we're just going to finish up all of this XP and all that. There's no reason to drop the Crimson Charms. We're doing what we want to do here anyways, so. here we are. And the last bit of granite is not needed. Let's get rid of that. And the other piece here too. Went through all of the charms. It's absolutely wild. Another thing I figured out, too late for it to matter, was when we were collecting dung to use on the amulet, we could grab a second bucket of dung. That would allow us to do 8 total teleports with 1 trip back. We'll see how our future summoning training progresses. I also have an extra law rune I went and got to get the rune pickaxe here. Out. Don't need that anymore. Drop the camulet, drop the dung, drop the chisel, drop the leather gloves, drop the desert robes. I mean, technically we're gonna go to the desert later, but not gonna matter too much. Drop the staff of fire, wield the crystal bow. Look at all this inventory space. Brilliant stuff. Another thing to note here is the coins situation. We started with 9 million coins and thousands of nature runes, and now we've got 4 million coins. A good amount of that was the massive costs of the stranger plants. Worth it for how easy and fast they are, though. Now that we have granite lobsters, everything's gonna be great for future summoning training. Well, that's the future. For now, we've got other things that happened on this day. We were so busy with summoning that we didn't even notice all the other updates happening today. Like the welcome screen being changed to allow for more information to be displayed, Make X Pyre logs, the April Fool's event being removed, and the prayer changing delay being fixed again. Also, the Easter event. That's happening. Go help Easter Bunny Jr., because he's made a giant mess of the egg factory. Feed the Easter bird, catch the Easter implings, fix the incubator, retrain the squirrels. And you'll be rewarded with some stuff. That's typical from the holiday events. This time it's an Easter carrot. So we can unsheath this. There it is. Gives a great old whack with the carrot. Like a rubber chicken, but in carrot form. And also a new emote. If we can find that pile here. Around the world in egg-T days. Gotta run real quick, and you go all the way around. Have a chocolate egg. Tasty. Very speedy. Want to see me run around the world again? There you go. Brilliant stuff. On April 9th, 2009, new Dwarf Quest blog number 2, talking about the concept approval phase, looking at the requirements for the content, not even like the requirements for the actual quest itself, but just what they want the content to be about. What kind of levels and stuff it's going to be at eventually, but mostly just the start of things. Also, like, just the size of the project, how much graphics budget it has, ideas about rewards and new unlocks and things. Still, very, very early in the process. Over on the forums, free-to-play players can now join the forums, assuming they have 12.5 million XP, which is quite a bit for free-to-play. We've only got 105 million XP. Also, plans to decrease that threshold gradually here. More communication and free-to-play stuff. Continues to be on theme here. On April 17th, 2009, the Fairy Area Improvement blog. Concept stage. There's going to be a fairy tale finale eventually here, working on it. And so, that's a good time to rework Xanaris. They like to do the graphical reworks along with content. Makes it feel more worth it. And now that there's many more artists than there were last time they reworked Xanaris, made it all blue, they can do much more. Change the entire environment, and even new character models for the fairies. So that's all fun. Different environment, also HD now a thing, so more you can do with that too, with lighting and stuff. So that's fun. On April 20th, 2009, pay by SMS for Canada. Pay money. Probably more money than just regular ways, because it has to go through additional systems, but it's an option. Good to have options. On April 21st, 2009, in the patch notes, the newcomer map text color was changed to be easier to read. Would definitely help for newcomers to actually be able to read the maps. That's nice for them. Razmire will no longer become re-afflicted. You just have to talk to him and he becomes unafflicted again. Access his shop down in Morton. Stairs logic improved for Castle Wars. Exactly what that means is a question. And Slayer Masters won't give you tasks you don't have access to. There's a few outliers, like God Wars Dungeon and Mauritania. For the most part, should be fine. In the other news section, because there's all these different sections, fruit and berry picking is now quicker for farming. Damaging items that you use will no longer kill you, and the Easter event was removed. On the plus side, the Easter music tracks were unlocked for everyone. So if you were in a situation where you just missed the event, you wouldn't be locked out of the music for an entire year. Not that that's a real concern, but it's good to have. Main update, though, is the next quest. We get Tale of the Moospa. Requires 10 magic, 10 woodcutting, 8 mining, 6 firemaking, 4 cut sapphires, and runes to enchant level 1 jewelry 8 times. Or we can mine the sapphires and cut them there. Which we will do, since there's a source of sapphires in the quest. And cutting the sapphires during the quest requires 20 crafting. Or you just bring cut sapphires you got somewhere else. We're going to be cutting them though. All these levels are very, very low. We're also going to need coins, knife, tinderbox, spade, hatchet, pickaxe, and chisel. Lots of stuff on the tool belt. Let me just grab most of that around here. Or store some stuff. Nothing complicated to get, just a lot of tools for this quest. The quest begins with Urjolf here on the snowy mountain near Olaf right there. Olaf's quest. What a time. Urjolf, how's it going? Incredible. This'll show them. Hello? Oh, hello there. You seem rather excited about something. Who, me? No, I'm not excited about anything. I certainly haven't found anything amazing inside the caves here. You won't mind if I have a go look inside the cave, then. Just you hold on a minute. I know what you adventurers are like. You'll wander in there and decide that anything you find is yours to take. Yes, correct. Except the Tale of the Moospa. I thought there was nothing in the caves to get excited about. Alright, Grandpa, you caught me out. If you promise to keep a secret, I'll show you what I've found. Alright. Your secret is safe with me. Great, then follow me into the caves to see something amazing. I do like seeing something amazing. I'm here for it. Hey, over here, jump across the stream to reach me. The flat rock is a good jumping point. Flat rock. Stream. Over here. Come on, we're nearly there. It's walking. Alright. Let's get in a cave here. Some little waterfalls, big rocks, small rocks, piles of rocks. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Going over this way to another part of the cave system here. Got water, snowfall. Seeing the ice there in the middle of the pool? There's something inside. In there. Earlier when the ice was clear, I could see spikes. Perhaps it's some long-lost armor. Whatever it is, this could be just what I need to get me through the Fremennik trials. But you'd know all about that, wouldn't you, Rakir Farstrider? You've heard of me. We've all heard of the Outerlander who passed the trials, and here you are. Adventuring with Rakir Farstrider. What a day. Why are you excited about the ice? There's something in there. Caught a glimpse of it earlier, before the ice frosted over. I'm sure I saw spikes. It was like a fearsome piece of armor. Why is that important to you? If I can find something that impresses the council, then I'll pass the trials and become a man. And tell me more about your trials. Mine were a little bit different than that. I'm proving my worth to my kinsfolk. Fremennik trials. Once complete, I'll have come of age. I'm having some trouble with some of the tasks, though. I was set a maze task yesterday, spent all day in there and still couldn't find the way out. Never did have a good sense of direction. I'm sure that if I can get whatever is in that ice, it would help me prove my worth. Perhaps it won't even matter that I'm having trouble with Swenson's maze. Ah, Swenson's maze. Alright. Perhaps I could help with your trials. You know, I was hoping you would say that. Not that I couldn't do it on my own, you know, it's just that I can see you want to help so much. Well, if you'd rather. No, it's settled, you'll help me. Okay, what do you need to do? What do I need to do? We need to somehow melt the ice in the middle of that pool. I've had to think about it, and I've come up with a way. I'll show you when you're ready. Alright. I'm ready to learn how to melt the ice. Great, now listen carefully. We're going to melt the ice in the middle of the pool using an old Fremennik tradition, making boats and setting fire to them. We won't need full-size boats, of course. A simple raft will do. Then we can light them and set them in the pool so they drift out to the ice in the middle. You want me to build rafts and then set them on fire and launch them. Got it in one. First, I'll show you how to build a raft. Get some logs and a knife. Take a piece of driftwood from one of these piles to make a fire raft. Watch carefully how I make them. I just take this knife and use it with some driftwood like this. Some wood. Get it all together. And you got a fire raft. Now to launch it, you'll need a tinderbox to do this. Just set it on fire. And there she goes. We just need to figure out how to get the rafts to the ice in the middle. Let's look around the cave. So here's the ice in the middle of the pool with water flowing around it. If you watch the falling ice in the pool, you can see how the water is flowing. There are 4 streams around the pool. You can block or clear some streams to adjust the flow. This is the north stream. Water flows into the pool from here. This is the only stream that feeds the pool. This is the west stream. Water flows out of the pool. As long as the stream is unblocked. If it's unblocked, then nearby fire rafts will move towards it. This is the south stream. Water flows out of the pool here, just like the west stream. This is the east stream. Guess what? Just like the west and south streams, water flows out of it. Here's one last tip for you. You can't work out how to melt all the ice, but if you launch several fire rafts at once, they'll come to rest against each other. That means you'll be able to melt pieces of ice which look difficult to reach by launching several rafts at once. Well, I'll hop to it then. Make some rafts, change the current, and melt the ice. Here is a puzzle, essentially. We've got various directions we need to push things, with the rafts coming off and everything. See the rocks where the rafts will naturally stop. And also launch some, we'll just go towards it. Make a pile here, a pile there. Just need to block various streams. Take some driftwood here. Just grab all of it. Need as many fire rafts as we can make. Make fire raft. Just all of them. Instantaneous. You'll have to see it. Jumping on the flat rocks with our single-digit agility requirement. I think we've got all the requirements easily here, obviously. Pile up, see, some ice mound to block the icy stream. And then just keep doing that to influence the currents here. Block this one. And that will fill here. Now the only direction flowing is back to the west. We just need to angle things properly here. And launch some rafts. I think it's going to be at least 4, 5 rafts. Launch a raft. Launch a raft. Launch a raft. We're just sending piles of fire through the water here. And one more. I melted that. Melted that. Melted that. And melted that. There you go. There you go. It's a start. Going to this rock from the northern side. And now the rafts are moving. And eventually they do sink. Could try to do something wild with moving them all around. For the most part. This right? We're gonna need to be on this side anyway. Influencing the currents. One way or another. Now they're going only south. We'll launch from the north. Have enough rafts? Probably. Line it up correctly. Should be fine. Right here again. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or so. Okay. Face the correct direction. Start launching. 2. Enough time leeway. We can also just make this all work. That's nice. Alright, also burn those 3. Melt, melt, melt. And we'll move slightly to the sides here. Put another one to get that one. Or not. Not quite the angle I was looking for. Over here. That one does that one. That's good. And get this one from here. And that's not quite the direction I wanted it. Let's see. It's kind of at an angle here is a problem. What if we go here? So on the shore. Nope, that's part of the shore. Okay. We can stand on this one. Nope, it's still the wrong direction. It's going slightly sideways here. Can we line up on this rock? Not from that side. Alright. We're gonna need more driftwood. Still need to get these ones and this one here too. It's definitely gonna need to be from the north though, so I'll be fine. Let's take a whole pile of it. More the better here. Not like we're losing anything by making more driftwood into fire rafts. There we go. Yeah, from this side, there's not really rocks to line up more stuff on. That's gonna go to there. And that's that. went the right way. Alright, fine. I'll take it. I will take it. Okay. So now we just have these two on the last side here. Switch up the currents again. Everything going this way. We can launch from the other side there. And make our way back. It'll go floating again. My goodness. They do last for a little bit, don't they? Wild stuff. Alright. That is... I'm going to close the south side. Okay. Well, we did just run around the pool here. A little unnecessarily, but that's fine. Blocking this stream. Convenient ice mountains are convenient. Letting us just keep on putting more in the river. Not a very large amount of flow or much of anything. That's alright. Okay. Launch one here. It's gonna go right there. Jump to the other side. I just need to get one more facing that direction. Around this path, not quite. Right down the middle of this part of the stream. I wouldn't think there'd be too much current here since this is blocked entirely, but gets the job done. That's what matters. That is all the ice bits melted. Well done, Rakir Firestrider. You've melted the ice. Come speak to me when you have a moment. I have a moment. Oh, it's a piece of armor, all right. A frozen monster. I wonder how it got in there. Perhaps it got trapped in an avalanche. But something's not right. The ice closest to it hasn't melted, not even a bit. Is it some kind of magic? I don't think I've ever heard of a creature like this before, not even in stories. So you leave it alone and get on with the trials? Not a chance. If I get some kind of trophy from it, that'd impress everyone. The whole council will vote in my favor. I'd pass the trials straight away. Let's take a look at the ice block here. So you have the creature. Trying to remember every detail. There's a creature in here. Look at that. You can see it better from this side. Now it's frozen over. Spiky, yellow, weird tail, little claws and stuff. It's definitely in there. Wild thing. What do you make of the creature in the ice? Well, I'm a bit disappointed that's not some flashy armor, but at least it's impressive. If I can just get a trophy from it, but it's odd that there's still ice around the creature. Perhaps we need some specialist help here. And what should we do now? Hey, I know who we can ask about the frozen creature. A natural historian from a museum is in the area, looking for yetis. Now, where did I see him last? Oh yes, up at the troll mice hunter area. Apparently he's trying to research yetis for the Museum of Artic. I doubt he's having much luck though. No one will help him find them because he's an Outerlander. So I should go up to the troll mice hunter area and speak to the natural historian. Yes, I'd go, but I must stay here and guard the cave. I don't want anyone else getting my trophy. I guess I'll be going to find the natural historian on my own then. Before you go, to find the natural historian, take a good look at the creature. You need to describe him. So you need to describe it to him so he can tell us more about it. Want to look at the creature again? Yep. Study it. Observe. Observe the absolutely wild thing that's frozen in here. All the different pieces. It's quite a mess, is what it is. Quite a mess. Alright. That should be good. I also have the sapphire rocks here. Just mine these. We got space. Rocking the old, current mining mechanics here. Nothing stamina bars and re-clicking and opportunities and everything. Just a pile of sapphires. Living in the moment. I'm gonna mine all of them. If only there was more just big old sapphire rocks. Get a whole bunch of sapphires, crafting XP. Technically there is gem rocks, but they all work differently, and that does become a crafting method. Mining and smithing rework, not yet. Just gonna get some sapphires, have a good time. We at least can cut them. That's gonna be some crafting XP. Slowly but surely doing random little bits of crafting, getting us closer to 80. If I want to make another glory for some reason. Anyways, to get out of the cave here, messing with the flows here has turned off some of the river parts, and how there's fish just flopping around. Yeah. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Up to the polar hunter area here. Trollwise hunter area, technically. It all works. And he's looking for yetis, which is very appropriate, because there's absolutely yetis just right up here. He's literally in the right place. Just wanders into the cave right over there. That's where the yetis are. Also, horrible little monsters that may or may not curse you, so probably don't do that. Natural historian, how's it going? Hello. Aha! Oh, you're not a yeti, are you? Do you even know what a yeti looks like? Of course I do. Great big thing, covered in white fur. Hunched posture, generally. Quite a roar on it. It's just that I'm keeping an open mind at the moment. Why is that? Well, I've been out here so long, I've never seen so much as a yeti track. Never mind the actual creature itself. Starting to wonder if people are just imagining them. You know, someone spots a cabin in the distance at sundown. Shadow makes it look much bigger. The next thing you know, you got yeti rumors rippling out across the whole continent. Are you any good at identifying creatures? I'm rather good, why do you ask? It's because of a curious creature I found, trying to find out what it is. Oh, I'm sure I can help you. Now I'll ask you some questions about the creature, you tell me the answers, and let's see if we can figure out what it is. Yeah, okay. Start describing it now. That's great. Let's get started. Start, what color is the creature? It is yellow. Okay, and how many arms does it have? It has 2 arms. How many legs does it have? No legs, like a snail. Tell me about its head. Smooth skull, spikes which run down the back. All kind of flowing hair. Spiny head. Describe its tail. Kind of like a spiky tail. Vicious spines. Nearly there, just more question. What's hands are like? Pincer is like a crab. Oh dear, that doesn't sound right at all. I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that. Must have made a mistake. Another go? Yeah, let's go. Not exactly the easiest to see inside the ice there. It's definitely yellow though. With its numbers of arms. Arms are also all crossed and stuff, which also doesn't help. Snail. It's definitely spiky. Tail. Not really fish tail. Or a spiky tail. What do I think it's like? Big fingers, webbing. It's just the same again. Not quite. Not quite. What do we think? Of the things we could see in the ice, yellow is definitely for sure. More arms. Back behind it a little bit. Definitely a snaily part at the bottom. Spikes for sure. Tail is spiky. Everything's all very spiky with it. And the crab pincers. Yeah, I just couldn't see the other 2 arms. Oh my, well that sounds like... But it can't be. What is the creature I described? I must say, the creature you've described to me is most puzzling. Can you tell me what it is, then? I can try, but I'm afraid it's as much of a mystery to me as it is to you. What do you mean? Well, this is a mythical creature. Just consider the way it's built. Nothing like that should really exist. Never heard of a real creature such as this. It's the kind of being you find in old folktales. What is the creature I described? I say the creature is most puzzling. Tell me what it is then. See, what do you mean? Folktales. Where can I find out more about this creature then? I'm unable to say. I doubt any natural historian can help you. I do have one piece of information which may help though. On my field trips, I hear many reports of interesting finds. One such report was of a statue found in the Caribbean desert, which had a remarkable similarity to the creature you've described to me. A statue in the desert? Whereabouts? That's just it. Other people went looking for it, but never found it. Rumor said it was east of the desert mining camp. If you can find the statue, perhaps you'll be able to learn more about the creature. If you let me know where it is, I have a small reward I can give you for your effort. And it's certainly worth a go. The desert is a fair distance off, though. I can help you get some of the way there, at least. Here's a teletab which will take you to Lumbridge. You can use it regardless of your magic level. Gives you a Lumbridge teletab. Thanks. Appropriate for the level of the quest here. But we can do better than that. Trying to get to near the desert mining camp. House teleport. And Alcarid. Okay. That puts us to the Shantae Pass, because it's changed with the lodestones. Pay 5 GP to buy a Shantae pass, which doesn't exist. Run out into the desert. Guess we could have kept the desert robes and stuff. It's fine. It's fine. Out in the desert. Nice and warm. Very, very temperature shock compared to the frozen areas we were previously at just a moment ago. Dig in the sand pile that nobody bothered to uncover here with the spade that we brought. We dig for an extended period of time. Crumbling statue. Here is Ellie the Wise. So that's where it is. And I think I've been searching far and wide. Oh, hello. Have you been looking for this statue too? Come speak to me when you have a moment, and we'll discuss it more. I have a moment right now. That's just what I'm looking for. Is the statue not splendid? Yep, who are you? They call me Ali the Wise. And I explore the desert in my eternal quest for knowledge. And this statue is knowledge. Indeed. From my cursory glance, I can see that it is incredibly old. Perhaps you can tell us something about the beings who created the statue. Why are you interested in the statue? I heard a rumor about it, and inquisitive as I am, I came searching for it. You came along at just the right time then. I've only just dug it out of the sand. That would explain why I haven't found it before, even though I've passed this way many times. The sandstorms in this area are particularly bad. May have been covered and uncovered thousands of times over the years. And look what I've missed out on. Such magnificence. Such tremendous masonry. You're really pleased with this statue, aren't you? I shall study it without delay. I found a creature just like this statue. Weirdest thing. Hold there, adventurer. That cannot be. Do you mean to tell me that you found such a creature in the flesh? Well, it's a rather strange story. My Fremnik ally, Urgulf, found the body entombed in ice, but I can't seem to melt all the ice around it. Then I asked a natural historian about the creature. Very interesting, please continue. Well, he said he had heard a rumor about the statue too. When I described my creature to him, he realized that it must be the statue of the very same monster. So I've come here to find out more about it, hoping to find a way to melt the remaining ice. You would normally be hard-pressed to learn much about the creature, but happily you have stumbled upon my wise and learned self. Oh, wonderful. So tell me all about it. The creature you have found here is the Muspa. It is a fearsome predator designed by a cruel and archaic god. So why haven't I heard of this creature before? Never even heard rumors about it. Because, my dear adventurer, it doesn't exist. Alright. So why do you think the creature I found is a myth? It's certainly puzzling, but I will explain what I can. This plane is inhabited by many different races, and through my explorations and investigations, I've come to understand them well. Each of these races have their own folk tales and fables. It is simply a part of culture. Go on. One little-known race, which has now become very rare, traveled to this plane from a distant and cruel world. They brought with them their strange ways, rituals, and folk tales. It is one of these folk tales that speaks of the Muspah. From various inscriptions I've read, the tales of a creator god who combined his most fearsome creatures to produce a monster the likes of which is unknown to this world. In truth, however, this creature would not work. As fearsome as it appears, it would actually be fairly easy to destroy. It is a terror of the mind, not of the flesh. So if the Muspah is a myth, how could I have found it? The natural historian said it was a myth too, but it doesn't make any sense. I've seen it with my own eyes. That I cannot say. The race of which I speak are terribly powerful mages, though it is likely that some of their magic is at work here. So, how can I clear the ice from around the Muspah? Rudolph needs a trophy from it to earn his rite of passage. Now let me ponder this. It would certainly save me the trouble of investigating this myself. Okay, I'll teach you a special way to clear the ice from around the Muspah. But on one condition. You must return and tell me everything you discover. Of course. Excellent. If I'm not here when you return, you shall find me at my house in Narda. Now then, given the creature and the race, it's likely that the ice is somehow magically imbued. Does that mean I need to use magic to remove the ice? Indeed. It's nice to see you pick things up so quickly. A simple enchant sapphire spell will suffice. I've practiced magic enough to be able to do that. What exactly do I need to do? You'll need 4 sapphires to enchant. Uncut sapphires won't work, they need to be cut first. Take 4 sapphires, 4 cosmic runes, and 4 water runes to the Muspah. Use a knife to bore the gems into the ice around the Muspah. Cast the enchantment on each one. That will focus any magic away from the creature, allowing the ice to melt. Okay, I think I can manage that. And could you help me get back to the Muspah cave, possibly? Whereabouts is it? It's to the east of Relaka. Well, I can get you to Camelot at least. I'll have a teletype which can take you there. Yeah, appreciate it, but no. House, Edgeville, Fairy Ring, right next to the cave. These teletabs would be appreciated if you were at the levels required for the quest, though. Getting all the way to Relaka when you have, what, 10 magic or something? Not the easiest thing to do. We are a little bit higher level, obviously. Level 123. We did get a combat level from one of the summoning levels. Don't think it mentioned it in the chat, but yep, combat level. Just a little bit stronger. Which, I mean, is totally fair, because we are a bit stronger due to having access to stronger summoning familiars. So that's nice. Back here. Back into the cave. Looking great. Here. Jump across the rocks. Hoop. And in we go. We need to get to the middle island, though. It's going to be a process that Urdulf has fixed for us. Fantastic. You're back. What did the natural historians say about the creature? It was most curious. The natural historians said the creature was a myth and couldn't really exist. Of course it exists. It's right there. What else did you find out? I met Ali the Wise in the desert. He told me even more. All kinds of information about this wacky thing. Repeat to Urdulf everything Ali the Wise told you. By the gods! So what we have here is a mythical creature. With a trophy from that, I'll pass my trials for sure. Doesn't it bother you? Not knowing how it came to be here, I mean? Oh, it'll be something to do with those powerful mages you mentioned. Don't worry about that, I don't. If you're sure. Now, you said Ellie told you how to thaw the creature? Managed to build a small bridge out to it. Yes, I can board gemstones in the ice and then enchant them. Not much of a magic user, so I can't help you there. Looks like another job for you, hop to it. Ah, you're becoming quite bossy, aren't you? Yes, I'm practicing in case I become the chieftain one day. Yeah. Do appreciate the bridge, though. Very convenient. Very cool. Alright. sapphires. Ice block. Squeeze in there. Going around, boring all the sapphires in. Just into the ice block. Look at that. A jewel wedged into the ice. Also, good thing it's sapphires and not much more difficult to get gems, like dragon stones or onyxes. And now, enchantment. Enchant that sapphire. That's level 1 enchant on sapphire. Enchant sapphire's ice block. Close enough. Magic. We walk around. Magic. You see the magic just being siphoned away. Magic. And last sapphire. There it goes. Revealing. The most fun. You've done it! You've really done it! Thank you so much. Wait there, I'm coming across to you. What's fun? La 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 la. Finally, I can get my trophy. Just think of the respect I'll get now. Oh, it's awake. It's alive! I think it's time for my dinner. I really should go. Wait, come back. What about your trophy? He's out of here. That's the correct response to Humasma. He's young. I suppose I should have expected him to run at first sign of trouble. Taking my sapphires back. Technically, we didn't need the 8 sapphires. 4 would be fine, but I mean, free crafting speed. Not gonna complain. Hello? Ah, my head. I feel terrible, so confused. You can talk? Ah. Perhaps if I edge slowly out of the cave. You there. What's the meaning of this? Why do I feel like I have too many arms? Oh, hello there. You've got quite a few arms. I should know, I counted them. Speak clearly, you trembling fool. I don't understand. Where am I? What am I? Now, I can answer those questions, at least. You're somewhere near Trollweiss Mountain, where you were found sleeping in a block of ice. That doesn't remind me of anything. Carry on. As for what kind of creature you are, I had to get some expert help on that. An expert says that you're a Muspa. I'm a Muspa? But how did I? Of course, now I recall it all. Good. Do you see, human? Does your mind race to comprehend what I have become? Know then the majesty of Jahalan, before whom you are but a speck. Your head, what are you? Begone, human, I have plans to make. Do not need your bleating to distract me. Okay, don't worry, I'm going. Beneath me my legs buckle so. Have I lost so much strength through my slumbering years? Feeling weak, eh? Well, whether you're strong or not, it costs nothing to show a little gratitude. Do you still plague me with your feeble mind? I only wanted to help. Help, eh? Now let me think. I suppose in this weakened state I could use a drudge such as this. Hey. Oh, did I say that out loud? Forgive me. I'm tired. I was merely admiring your patience, adventurer. I apologize for my ill manners. I was rather startled, you see. That's fine. That's okay. I guess some people just find it difficult to wake up. So, what happened? You were a strange creature before. Yes, I was also taken by surprise by that, if you recall. During my slumber, I must have dreamt of the Muspa, a horrific creature from my people's imagination. It is a mythical being from our folktales. And when you started to dream about it, you changed into it? Yes, my race is highly skilled at taking on the shapes of other beings. It's incredibly strenuous to achieve, though. I weep when I think of how much of my power the transformation must have consumed. And you look a bit unusual. This is what we Majrat become in the long, tired years leading up to our rejuvenation. Rejuvenation? Yes, for years I've been waiting in the ice, growing ever weaker, waiting to be filled with the power once more. What are we doing in the ice? I was hibernating, a most difficult feat. But why? It's to do with our ritual of rejuvenation. Tell me about the ritual. The rejuvenation ritual. Ah, the ritual that brings energy anew to us, Majrat. Such a shame that one of our kind must be sacrificed. What's a small price to pay, really? You mean to say the Majrat kill each other? Oh, it's nothing as uncivilized as slaughter. We do battle, although I fear my enemies plot and scheme against me. This is why I could not take part in the ritual. I am too weak to fend off my foes, and so I concealed myself under the ritual site, that I might be rejuvenated without fear. Ah, so you've been hiding in the ice. How long have you been in this realm, human? I've been here many years. I stopped counting them after a few thousand. You've been alive for thousands of years. Yes, and in that time, can you imagine the destruction I have seen? There was a time when what you call the wilderness was a paradise blessed by the gods. There was a time when this whole world was at war. I've seen Zamorak stride across the battlefield, a storm of hate and wrath and fire. Ah, I had no idea. You must have seen so much. Indeed. What I have seen has tempered me somewhat. I am wary of battle now. So, what do you need now? I must hibernate again under the ritual site. There are caves beneath it, but this time I must choose my resting place with more care. This time, my rest must not be disturbed. I must not dream of the Muspa again. Transforming into that creature used almost all the energy I have. Good luck with hibernating, then. Wait there, human. I do not have the power to go into hibernation again. I need you to help me. Yeah, I've started, so I might as well finish. What do I need to do? Use the same process used to awaken me. That should allow me to focus the remaining power I have to send me into a slumber again. Okay. I need 4 sapphires and to enchant them, and a knife. Exactly. You learned well for a human. Yeah, where should I meet you? You'll need to find a way to the caves beneath the ritual site. How will I do that? Why not ask your little Fremenic friend? He waits just out without this cave. I smell his fear. Good for you. Alright. Well, that should do. Find our way to another place. Jahalan. He's not what you'd call attractive. Unless you're into skeleton mage guys. Matrats. Wild stuff. Hey, Urgolf. How you doing? Is it gone yet? The monster? Only I really need a trophy from it. Listen, I need to find some ways of traveling around the coast. The mountains are really steep and slippery. You'll fall for sure. How about traveling by water? Well, I don't have a boat. You can always make a canoe. You did a good job making those fire rafts. A canoe should be no problem. Any idea where I can find a log to make one? Yes, I keep my eyes open, not like you oldies. Maybe on the west coast of the Troll Ice Hunter area, near where all the land all turns to snow. And bring a hatchet with you. Got it. We're ready for that at least. I better get going. Let's get going. He's already gone. Also, while we are heading up that way again, let's see if we can talk to the natural historian here. We've learned what the creature was. Got the information. I'm not going to tell him where the Yetis are, though. He'll probably just get himself killed. Can't be having that. There's Urgolf right over there. Be right with you. He's got a log ready, too. Very convenient. Very cool. Hey, natural historian guy. I return with information. Always good to have some information. Hello, I've come to claim a reward. Oh, how wonderful. What's this reward for? I've managed to locate the statue of the Muspa. Of course, the mysterious desert statue. If you could just pinpoint its location on my map for me. Right here. My location of the Muspa statue on the historian's map. Well, that's wonderful. Now we'll be able to study it when the opportunity arises. As promised, here's a token of our thanks. The historian carefully hands you an antique lamp. Oh boy. It is 200 Herblore XP. That is something. It's something. Herblore. Training that soon. For right now, we need to get over to make this canoe, raft, whatever we're going to do with it. Make canoe, fallen log. We got our hatchet here. Made another adamant one for putting the jade vine. Here I go again, making boats. Better not set fire to this one, though. That'd be inconvenient for our purposes. Jump, 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 jump. And there we go. There's a saber-toothed kayak we didn't hunt to make spirit kayaks. Alright. And we travel. Didn't even need to talk to him about it. We figured it out. Yeah. And now we are up here. A new area. How much of this exists around us? Good question. We're just heading into the cavern here. And it's a caverny cavern. Look at that. And there he is, Jagex. How's it going? Hello, I made it. And not a moment too soon. My legs are about to give way. I can scarcely even think. You seem to be in a pretty bad shape. Yes, but now I have arrived. The central point is directly beneath the ritual stone. You can even feel its force seeping through the mountain. You'll need to do my thinking for me here, guide me to a place where I can rest. Well, how about right here? I'm afraid not. I need somewhere that's ice cold, or won't be disturbed by running water or creatures, and that isn't too light. And not in a tunnel either. Don't want to be disturbed while sleeping. You ready to guide me to a peaceful hibernation spot now? Yes, follow me. We'll find you somewhere you can rest. Alright. We got all these different cave spots with all sorts of problems. Too warm, too bright, too water, too monster, water, bright, monster, monsters, water. Just keep on choosing not ones. Warm, bright, just the deepest hole all the way at the end of the cave. Also a pretty good spot for it, obviously. Looks good. Yes, so brave adventurer. This spot good enough for you? Oh, how wonderful. Yes, I think this shall do very nicely. Now if you'll be so kind to bore the sapphires in around me. Here I go again. Bore sapphires into Jagex. Or actually just the ice nearby. Probably would not appreciate us trying to stick sapphires in him. That'd be ill-advised. 80 strength, just shove a sapphire right into his bony eye socket. Yeah. And then enchant the sapphires of Jagex. Get that magic back in. At last I can rest again. So that's it then. I won't see you again, I suppose. Do not get sentimental, human. It's not that, things just don't seem complete, you know? No, I do not know. Explain yourself. Well, usually in an adventure, things wrap up nicely at the end, but this time, I started off promising to help Urgel for his trials. I don't seem to have helped him at all. I cannot help that, nor do I care for this Urgel. Oh well, I imagine he'll just try to find you again to get some kind of trophy. That cannot be allowed. I must not be disturbed. And, of course, he knows how to bring you out of his hibernation. Just needs to practice his magic a little bit. Curses, a pox on all adventurers and their meddling ways. Still, as long as you're happy with him waking you up again. I'm left with no choice. Imagine how much this will pain me, human, weak as I am. Use all the strength I have left to conjure a trophy for you. Behold, the tail of the Muspar. Tail of the Muspar. Gives you a Muspar's tail. Wonderful. That should do just fine, thanks. And now continue with the hibernation. Sapphire enchant. This time it's going to be sucking the cold magic back in. That all works. Sapphires and coldness. Icy blue. Something, something. Good enough. So long, Jagex. You is frozen again. This time we don't get the sapphires back. That's alright. We got all these extra sapphires. Want to do anything with these? Probably not. Not too concerned. Can we alch them? Yeah, 150. Probably not. Send them to a store or something. Again, not a huge amount of money in it for most of those things. We still have like 4 million coins, so we're doing fine for now at least. If we make more money with the next thing we're gonna do, we're going to possibly need to spend some. We can store up to 7.5 mil, so it's probably fine. Anyways, out of the cave, canoe traveling time. Back to Virgil. Still hanging around here. If you think I'm going home without a trophy, then you're wrong. Just so happens I have something for you here. Really? You're great. Here's a tale. And quest complete. 1 quest point. 500 fire making XP, 1000 magic XP, 800 mining XP, and 800 wood cutting XP. Oh boy. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So, hang out here. So, do you think the Muslim's Tale is a good enough trophy? It's the best. I can't wait to show this off. Pass the friendly trials for sure. Glad I could help. Oh yeah, about that. It's probably be best to keep this one on the quiet, yeah? Otherwise I might not get all the credit I deserve. You want me to lie about helping you? No, not at all. Just don't mention it to anyone. I'm making no promises. Fair enough. I thought it might be a bit much to ask. I'll see you around. Bye. Okay. That ends that. We do have another place we can go. One more open thread here. Alley the Wise over in Narda. Let's go talk to him about everything we learned. And other things, potentially. He's very wise. Have some interesting information. This way of getting to Narda. Could go House Alcarid. And then the carpets. We would still need to run through Pollen of Nietzsche. Get the other side there. We're going to go to the Caridian Desert, north of Narda. Just run into Narda. Works. It works. Run through the desert again. Still not really concerned by the desert heat too much. So this is fine. Running through the desert. Just a good time. Okay. So yeah. Combination of snowy and sandy systems here. Here is Alley the Wise. Hi. So this is your place. Humble but homely, I think. Suits me well. How good to see you again. You told me how to thaw the muspa. I thought I should keep my part of the bargain. Oh, so you have some information for me. I must record this. To start with, the muspa wasn't what it appeared to be. Turned out to be alive all along. Once I freed it, it changed. Told me it was a Majrat. It was quite a shock to suddenly see its head was a skull. The Musfa creature was a Majrat in disguise. Yes, he's called Jahalin. He was incredibly weak and wanted to hibernate under the Majrat ritual site. I found him somewhat peaceful and put him back to sleep. Apparently the ritual will rejuvenate any Majrat nearby. We know where to find him again, should we ever need to. Well, that creature in the ice has given me much to think about. Starting to research these Majrat. I'm worried they may be a threat to us humans. We need to collaborate to gather as much information as possible. I have more interesting information about the Majrat. Good. I'm always happy to compile more information on these creatures. They are of great interest to me. I encountered a pair of Majrat called Anakra and Akthanikos. Anakra had imprisoned Akthanikos in the form of a creature called a Bone Guard. Imprisonment spells seem to require her constant supervision, though. Ended up breaking the deadlock, and now they say they're headed to the north to continue their fight there. Why would they be heading to the north before resuming their fight? I wonder. I guess it's something to do with the ritual. It seems unusual that they were embroiled in such a fight outside the ritual anyway. Apparently they've always been rivals. But it seems they also have religious differences. Anakra is the father of Zamorak, and Acthanicos follows a guy called Zeros. Mashrat following Zeros? Interesting. So you've heard of Zeros? Yes, there are some references to him in ancient texts that I've run across. From what I gather, he once had followers who were fiercely loyal to him. What's become of him now, I don't know. I have more information about Mashrat. Always wants more. I'm happy to compile more information on these creatures. They're of great interest to me. A Mashrat called Zamorgel tried to invade Varrock with an army of zombies. Oh, can you tell me more? That's big enough news that rumors of it have already been circulating down here. Yes, his army was led by the ancient hero Rav, who Zamorgel had managed to enslave. A man named Dimithius managed to defeat the zombie army with an artifact called the Shield of Rav. Oh, and I helped quite a lot, I do say so myself. More information about the Mashrat. Great interest. I met a strange person called Lucian. I believe he was a Mashrat. Certainly looked similar to Jalan. He was trying to steal a powerful artifact called the Staff of Armadil. It wasn't actually all that strong. I managed to just about defeat him in combat, but he escaped before I could finish him off. This is quite interesting. For I've heard of Mashrat, I wouldn't have expected him to be such a weak foe. I guess the fact it's not long to the ritual means they're weakening a bit. Doesn't seem to have stopped him getting up to some mischief, though. The Staff of Armadil, you say? I've heard of Armadil, an obscure deity from around the Third Age. Very interesting that a Mashrat would be after an artifact attributed to him. Sounds like it might be powerful. More information. Great interest. Unfortunately, I've heard that Lucia has managed to capture the Staff of Armadil despite my efforts. The message I received indicates a mage called Mavario obtained it for him. I'm not sure of the implications of this. That could be a powerful artifact. We're going to need to keep an eye out for this Lucian fellow now. Yeah, about that. I managed to find out more about the Staff of Armadil. Told that Zamrak used it to defeat Zeros and become a god himself. It's really that powerful? Does it mean that Lucian is trying to follow in Zamrak's footsteps and become a god? Who knows what chaos would come to pass if that were to happen? Yeah, about that. More information. Lucia has managed to get a hold of another artifact. From what I can tell, it's quite a bit more powerful than the Staff of Armadil. It's called the Stone of Jas. The Stone of Jas? That sounds highly unlikely. You've heard of it? Yes, I've seen passing references to it in some old texts I've read. I doubt it's real, though. I can assure you it's very real. Touched it with my own hand before the Mashrat ran off with it. Well, this is very frightening news. Who knows what havoc the Mashrat will be able to wreak? I shall have to ponder on this. I got more information. I run into General Khazard in the Shadow Realm. I think he's a Mashrat. You were in the Shadow Realm? Goodness me, how did you manage to get there? I guess I've picked up a lot of useful bits and pieces on my adventures. Did you find anything out about... Did you find out anything of interest from him? Yes, he was sending his messages to his followers. The planets are nearing alignment. We will meet in the place of half-light and ice soon. Beware the others, for though they are weak and few, they are cunning. Mean anything to you? I'm not sure exactly. I guess the place of half-light and ice could be the ritual area. The bit about planets aligning is interesting. I got more information. I inadvertently freed a being called Asanadra from a pyramid to the west of here. The name sounds familiar. Is he a Mashrat? Yeah, I think he might be. So, what was he like? Was he another conniving and evil follower of Zamorak? Well, now you come to mention it. He wasn't a follower of Zamorak, and he was actually rather helpful. He taught me a bunch of new spells. Still not convinced he's entirely trustworthy, but it didn't seem all that bad either. It's all very interesting. You know, it does increasingly seem like not all these Mashrat are completely evil. Now, not to the extent that some people would have you believe, anyway. There does seem to be a bit of a mix of personality types, like with many other races. Got more information. I found out about a slain Mashrat named Haziel. There's a whole cult dedicated to reviving him in Ardoin. So this cult is helping the Mashrat? Yes, they said they are faithful to Lord Zamorak and seem to be in awe of the Mashrat's power. It's fascinating how people of a particular nature flock to power. I actually managed to infiltrate the cult. I saw Haziel in the flesh. But you said he'd been slain. And it turns out he wasn't dead, just in a state of very near death. The cult was successful in reviving him, though he seemed very weak. This Haziel, is he still in Ardoin? No. He said he was headed north, where he'd regain his strength. North up to the ritual site, I dare say so. So Jahan isn't the only Majra in dire need of rejuvenation. I have more information. Do I? Nothing else particularly interesting springs to mind. Yeah. We've got many interactions with the Majra. They've definitely been up to things. Heading north, the ritual site. It's happening. It's happening. Not next time, but soon enough. Continuing on. As always. Next time. Goodbye.